Hey everyone, howdy doody, I'm Gunnarolla, and today I'm answering a viewer question. Any advice for giving up society's 9-to-5 life to follow your dreams? So, as some of you might be aware, 6 years ago I made the decision to leave a traditional 9-to-5 job to do whatever I do now. If you've been following for a while, you know that it was not easy to get that job.
So remember how I went to Toronto last week to interview for a job? Well, you guys are looking at the next unemployed 20-something-year-old because I didn't get the job. Did I take some time to recuperate? Yes, I did. Oh God, why?
And it was a pretty big deal when I left that job.
I was finally able to move to Toronto and land the job of my dreams. And although I have no regrets, sometimes it's just time for a change. You realize you have other dreams, like not eating at Subway every day, sleeping so that you can have more dreams, and making YouTube videos.
So here's the thing that no one really talks about when pursuing their passion as their life's purpose. When you make the decision to follow your dreams become a job. When I first quit my job, I felt so liberated, and whenever anyone would talk about how, unhappy they were at their job, that would be my advice. Just quit your job. Why are you working for the man? But I didn't realize that if you want to live in this world and do things and have things, you need money. Just because you like to do something does not mean that you'll be able to make a living out of it. You really need to have a plan for how to support yourself. When I left my job, I was not thinking about money. I was overworked, and I just saw a whole other world of touring, traveling across the world, creating music and YouTube videos, and just doing stuff that I liked to do. I thought I would be happier if I didn't have to work at a job, and to a certain extent I am, but it's still a lot of hard work. That's part of the reason why I don't create as much music as I used to. I just don't love music that much to crank it out at the volume that is expected. When you have success on YouTube, people equate it to your talent and they tell you that you deserved it. But on the other hand, when you pour your heart and your soul into something and it doesn't go viral or it doesn't get a lot of attention, you only have yourself to blame. Was this video not a hit because I'm just not good enough? I'm not talented enough? I didn't work hard enough? It can really mess with you, and it's a trap that I fell into multiple times. When you have a traditional job, you have a role, you have responsibilities, you have coworkers, you have a boss, you get evaluated, you might get a raise. There's a very clear ladder to climb. When you pursue your passion, you don't really have any of those things. You have to decide what you want, how you're gonna do what you want. I guess in some ways YouTube is my boss, and I can't really say that I've been recognized by my boss. They don't send me gift cards, they're not flying me to events or conferences or putting me on billboards, and I don't necessarily want those things, but it's nice to feel validated by your boss. I've joined a few YouTube networks thinking that maybe they could help me. I released some of my biggest projects while I was with networks, and those didn't really go anywhere. And I'm sure that's a very common sentiment among artists. Everyone feels unappreciated and everyone feels like they deserve more. I'm really lucky that at least I have you. I have an audience that still appreciates everything that I do, but it can get very frustrating very quickly. That's why they say if you pursue your passion, you have to love it, because there are going to be so many times where you just want to give up. This month and maybe the past couple months have not been very easy for me. When I had a job, when I was working for someone else, there were moments where I was frustrated and maybe unhappy, but I was never depressed. And when I left, I experienced the highest highs, but also the lowest lows. Things that I just never want to experience again. And I can always feel it coming at the beginning of every year. That's why I'm a big fan of setting goals, and I'm a big fan of being ambitious with all these different projects, because if I don't set those things, it's very easy to fall into a slump. I'm just like you. I sit at home and I scroll through my feed and I see all the things that people are doing and all the things that people have. And I know you probably scroll through my feeds and my content and think the same things, but you know, the reality is, if I look like I'm busy and I look like I'm having fun and I'm traveling and I'm doing all these things, then I'm doing a really good job. But there's a whole other side to it. It's especially bad in the travel lifestyle space. I think we've become so focused on the glamorous, aspirational aspect of what we do. There's very little recognition of how much work it is and how fake it is sometimes. I have a friend who's a photographer and she follows a lot of these, you know, travel lifestyle content producers, and she pointed out that some of them actually, they make you feel bad that you're not traveling and that you're having all these experiences and all these things. And I definitely have probably fallen into that trap of showing off, but that's my job. I get paid to travel and I get paid to do stuff, and I definitely want to inspire you to do those things, but I never want you to feel like your life isn't as good as mine or that there's anything wrong with your life. Your life is probably fine. You don't need to travel the world all the time and to have all these things to have a fulfilled life. I'm really grateful for all the opportunities that I've had, but it's not constant. And there are definitely moments, you know, when I've felt really sad. It's lonely. I've had to miss family events. I've destroyed relationships. But I don't want to sit here and complain. I just want you to know that there's a whole other side to this glamorous, follow your dreams, follow your passions lifestyle that we don't really talk about. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of instability, and it's a lot of just learning how to navigate the high highs and the low lows. I decided to do probably two of the hardest things that I could, which are music and travel. How many people want to be a musician? I'm so lucky that I've been able to produce the stuff that I want to produce and to experience success with it. I've also been able to travel. I love traveling and producing stories around the world. But travel is hard. It's hard to do just as a thing that you do, but to have to do it also as a job where every moment you kind of have to be on and surveilling and you know, thinking, that's hard. And the travel space is not very diverse. How many creators of color can you name who produce travel content? There are not a lot. And so I think my point of view is valuable, but I don't know that there's a desire for that. But travel is one thing that I can treat like a job. And whether or not I feel like doing it, I can still do it and still enjoy it. Music was harder. It's a lot more draining. And I think we just make it look really easy. So that's my experience, and I think I can speak for, you know, a few creators who I know that that's their experience too. Life is not always this pretty picture that we paint for you. There's a lot of struggling, and a lot of hustling, and a lot of working that goes on behind the scenes. For those of you watching this who are thinking that you want to leave your 9 to 5, I would say figure out what you can do in your 5 to 9, the hours outside of work. Figure out what you love to do, and when you're ready to make that jump, remember that there usually is no safety net there, and you just have to trust that your passion will still be your passion once it becomes your job. You know, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I've just come to accept that there are moments when I will feel really low, but those moments don't last forever. And everyone has a struggle. And if there's anyone out there who does not have a struggle, they're benefiting from some kind of privilege that I do not have. I hope that wasn't too grim. I just wanted to be real with you, and I will always be real with you. Thanks for watching. in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on everything that I talked about. Romanticizing this whole world of people who follow their passions versus people who are comfortable in a 9-to-5 job. Because some people need that kind of structure, and I'm definitely someone who benefited from that environment where I knew what I had to do and I knew how to excel, and I liked feeling respected and liked and, you know, valuable. With what I'm doing now, I'm doing it. There's big question marks around what it's for and how long I can keep doing it, but I will enjoy it while I can. So, subscribe for more videos. I'll see you again next time. À la prochaine. A quick note that I will probably delete once this message has expired. I'll be hosting the Juno Awards red carpet live in 360, powered by Samsung VR. The Juno Awards are our Canadian celebration of the best and the brightest in music, and we're going to be doing it in 360. There's no room to hide in 360 degrees. So check that out, samsungvr.com/Juno. Secondly, I'll be in Japan, April 5th to 10th, and then I'll be heading out to a mystery destination. I had to cut my Japan trip a bit short to squeeze in this trip because it's gonna be pretty cool, and I can't wait to share more details with you. And then after that, I'll be heading out to another place to do some things. So I know I just spent like 10 minutes talking about how sad and depressed I was, but now I'm on an upswing. Things are picking up again. The low point does not last forever. I am living proof. I'll see ya. Bye. À la prochaine.